Whether it's your first time here or you're a regular here at Mr. Super Oz, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the channel. It exists because I, Oz, from the channel Mr. Super Oz, I wrote a 68-page graphic novel called Everlasting Survivors. Volume 1 is called All Day Long. If you follow the link in the description of this video, you can get yourself hats, shirts, posters, all kinds of fun things. But most importantly, you can get the story itself. And the more people that pick up the story, the greater the chances are that there can be continued adventures with these heroes. If you could, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, enjoy.
No. The Raw coming up, which, can I go to now?
Absolutely, it's all you.
Raw coming up is all about the outsiders, baby. All about Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and the Dudley Boys.
I love it. Oh, that sounds good.
So, the show opens up, just a nice little opener, Molly Holly versus Jacqueline.
Oh, wait.
What's up?
This is your last time booking Scott Hall, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was about to say, it has to be because it's the next day where he gets let go.
Yep. And it'll subsequently be the last time I book Kevin because I think he gets injured like a week after. Week, 2 weeks.
For
whatever.
sure. Yeah, not long.
Like, instead of just breaking them up and having them lose to somebody else,
Makes sense.
Just have them both go out together.
Makes
They've
sense.
been together their whole careers. It feels right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, spoilers for the main event. But,
Sorry, it hit me. Because I remembered it was Insurrection, which was the plane ride from hell.
Yeah.
Or the flight back from Insurrection is what was the plane ride from hell.
Exactly. But so Molly beats Jacqueline. It's a nice little match. Just get the crowd warmed up. Opens the show. Throughout the show, there are these.
I've got to compliment your booking of female wrestling.
Thank you.
Like, instantly, I made the mistake in my head because of the sleep deprivation.
Right.
I was like, Molly beat Jazz, and I was like, oh no, you said Jacqueline.
Did say
But still, just thinking about how not just those two or three, Jacqueline, Jazz, and Molly, but also Trish and Lita and Ivory, all of the women in your universe, in your world, in your on your show, have been treated with respect, and it's just nice to see.
Well, it helps because I grew up in both eras. So, like, I came in, when I started watching wrestling, like, I was in, like, the tail end of the Divas, Bra and Panties.
Oh, yes.
Etc.
Yeah.
And, like, I enjoyed that because I was
a
teenager.
Yes.
But as I grew up to be an adult and, I learned more and, like, I got a girlfriend, so I wasn't a child.
Exactly.
I learned how important it was to respect a woman, and then that's all when the women's revolution came in. I'm like,
oh my goodness,
they actually can wrestle.
Well, it's so crazy to listen to the narrative of the company because, like, it's like Stephanie McMahon created
women's wrestling,
and it's like I was like, dude, long before Stephanie came out and promoted the women being
good,
brought to
prominence,
Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
Emma and Paige, AJ Lee, even Caitlyn.
Tearing it down.
Yeah, doing great work. Man. Sorry, continue. Back to your show.
Yeah. No, all good. Basically, so Molly wins. Nice moment, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Throughout the show, like, you're just seeing these promo packages. And it's these promo packages highlighting the Dudley Boys' career. So, the Dudley Boys, because I can't remember exactly how many tag titles they won, but they probably are at least 10 times.
I feel like that's reasonable to guess.
Exactly. And since AEW owns the archives of WWF, ECW, and WCW, they have every single one of the Dudley's tag team championships.
Yes.
So it's highlighting those wins. It's highlighting them putting people through flaming tables. It's highlighting them being the most decorated tag team in all of professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. And then, in contrast, you have...
And they're still currently champions,
Yeah,
right?
they're still currently champions.
That's what's up.
Exactly. And then, in contrast, you have these highlights of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Scott Hall's World War III win. Scott Hall's World Championship win.
And Kevin Nash's World Championship win. He was the longest, he went from 365 days as WWF champion.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's smart.
Exactly. So, highlighting why these two men, even though they've been down on their luck, and their backs against the wall, the dogs fighting in the yard.
Yep.
They're still contenders. They're still hungry. They can still
love it.
Make this happen.
So Triple H has done not precisely what you're doing, but something very similar.
Yeah.
while he's had the book, promoted both the Intercontinental and the United States Championship
Exactly.
with highlight packages. And that's the beauty of having so much history
Exactly.
at your disposal.
Yeah. And thank God, you booked Scott Hall very well. So
Well, you helped.
yeah,
You
I did
helped.
help.
Because I wanted to make him world champion. I was like, I don't know if they'll do it. He's like, well, you're booking. I was like, you're right. Let's do it.
I'm about to say, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
But yeah, so it makes Scott even more legendary. He already is. He's not a world champion, not a guy that should have been world champion, but wasn't
Mm-hmm.
type figure.
Yes.
So that adds to his legacy, at least in our universe.
Yes.
So that's going on throughout the night. So as I knock out these last couple of segments, just keep those in mind. We have DDP, Billy Gunn. I was about to say the Guns out of instinct. Billy Gunn and Sean Stasiak, and DDP has them, and kind of like a primitive version of his what would become his DDPY studio.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like the self-help, self-confidence guru.
Yes.
And he's trying to teach Billy and Sean to believe in themselves, have confidence, and they'll grow and soar. And Billy and Sean, obviously, not with it. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And Billy's like, trust me, I got you. And then does this little leg thing
Well,
for yoga.
oh
that
my
I
goodness!
couldn't do in a million years.
Check this out. Check this out. So, I don't know if you remember, but there were multiple instances in the Chuck and Billy storyline where the cameras would catch them doing stretches.
Yeah.
And so, I think it'd be funny if neither one, Billy or Sean, could do it individually, but if they helped each other, then they could pull it off, right? And so then, they're not full on doing Chuck and Billy gimmicks, but
Right.
they're helping each other to try and achieve what Paige
Build
wants.
the tag team.
Exactly.
That's great. That'll be with the segment. But I have these segments pretty much peppered in throughout my show for this month.
Yeah.
So
I've been trying to come up with a name for it because
I still have nothing. I was gonna go with Planet Ass for a little bit, but then I was like, nah.
yeah. I kind of want to do positively something
Yeah.
because of Paige's positive attitude,
Yeah.
right?
And the name's definitely gonna have to stem off of DDP, and I think after I think about it a little more, I'll figure it out. But it'll come to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Not this episode, but the next episode.
for sure.
All right. Let me run through the rest of the show real quick. Jazz has a sit-down interview with the newly acquired Ace reporter Gregory Helms.
I love that you're doing that.
And she's talking about her championship reign, talking about the opponent she faced, how great everyone was, and how she's looking forward to continuing to be a dominant champion when Lita comes in and attacks her. And Lita beats her down, throws her all across the world, slams her head into a wall, and says nothing. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't need to say anything.
Oh my! Can I make just a quick
Sure.
question?
Okay.
Can there be a window in a door?
Yeah.
Instead of into the wall, because
Get that shattered glass.
right.
I
So
like that.
one, I love the Rockers breakup spot.
Yeah.
And then two, AEW, this one, not ours. They did a spot like that with
Britt Baker's. Was it Britt Baker's
well, so
little show?
so Chris Jericho was hiding from Cody,
Oh, I know the one.
and then Cody put a shirt and he busted the window. I was like, let's do that here,
Yeah.
where the Jazz gets thrown through the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Perfect. But yeah, so Lita walks out looking like a badass Shane, and Shane's sitting there like,
Oh, I know, right? Oh my
what's up with
goodness.
that?
Oh my goodness.
And then we have Too Cool taking on Holly and Saturn. Too Cool get the win.
Yeah, of
Just,
course. Yeah. Because what you're doing is you're highlighting both women's wrestling and tag wrestling within this episode.
Exactly.
And I think that's smart.
Doing what I can. And then finally, we hit the main event. It's, what did I say last week? No disqualification, Dudley Boys versus the Outsiders. It's a good 20-minute match. There's near falls. There's moments. Scott Hall hits a beautiful razor's edge on Bubba Ray for the through a table, and gets the closest near fall, but Bubba kicks out.
Well, and here's the funny thing is, my instant thought when you said Scott Hall hits a razor's edge or outsider's edge on Bubba was like,
my God, Bubba's so big. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh wait, Scott Hall's so
Scott
big.
Hall's
like,
huge.
Like, oh my, everybody in this match is so big.
It's giants.
It's like
Devon is probably the smallest competitor in this match.
He's not small in the
and
least.
he's not small. But it's the sheer size, it's the visual. Bubba's the biggest guy on the team.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So
it's
it
no
just
knock.
looks
It was just like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Bubba kicks out. The heartbreak on Scott's face is evident.
Mhm.
You can tell how bad he wants this.
you might even think that he thinks this is the end of the line.
It's the end of the line. Well, it could be.
It could be.
It could be. But basically, so they take Scott Hall, or not, sorry, they take Kevin out by hitting him with a super bomb. You know, the Dudleys set up the
Mhm.
super bomb to the outside.
Oh wow.
So,
Did he tear a quad?
yeah, immediately. Upon landing. Super bomb to the outside. Scott Hall is out of the match. They, everybody's checking on him, the doctors, everything. Scott Hall is violently baby-facing by himself. He's bloodied. He's barely standing, and he's got the he has nothing left to give. But he's like, "Come on,
Yeah.
come on, I'm ready." And so Devon pushes him, bounces him off the ropes, elevates him, deadly death drop into the match.
Oh, I love it.
Oh man!
That's so good.
And thus ends Scott and Kevin's career in WWE, and I think period. I don't think they ever came back.
Oh well, Kevin
Kevin came back in 2011, but
Well, he had another short run where he in the original timeline he had a short run where he came in for this was when he had that Punisher haircut.
oh yeah, I
And
did forget about that.
He had a match with Triple H in a Hell in a Cell
Yeah.
with Mick Foley as the ref, and
Mhm.
then he was also in the second Elimination Chamber ? One of them.
Sounds
But if you never want to book him again, that's fine. I might even pick him up as like a whatever if I got something for him. But I don't even got that in mind right now.
Yeah, I was about to say. I just feel like it's right that that's how they.
Oh,
end it.
absolutely.
At least for my show. I mean, if you got
I don't
ideas,
have anything. I don't have anything, but I do see what you're saying, and I like the storybook ending, especially because we know that he's going to go on and produce some paparazzi productions
Exactly.
over in another territory.
Yep. But so ends Dudley's leave, saying we are the greatest tag team ever.
It could be hard to question that
Yep.
one.
And Scott Hall picks his broken, torn buddy up, and they just walk to the back. They turn and hit the end of an era spot with the remember at the end of the Hell in a
Oh
Cell.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And they just stand and soak in the adulation of the crowd, wave, and that's it.
And then Tuesday we see on .com that unfortunately the company has come to terms with the release of Scott Hall. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we understand.
Yeah, reality is reality.
Reality is reality.
Get some things you shouldn't say.
Gotta play by the rules.
And listen, I think if Scott had passed away after he left the company
Yes.
initially, it would have been a lot sadder story.
Yes.
I think the fact that he came back, had the DDP yoga.
I feel that
turned
way
his
about
life around.
Jake Roberts.
Yes,
right?
I was.
So I was
about to
talking
say.
to I was talking to somebody today about how I hope Jeff Hardy can get a Jake the Snake Roberts redemption arc, because he was saying how that him and his kid love the Hardy Boys, right? Which who
You're about to say, who doesn't? Right.
Exactly, like that's one of the easiest things to ever relate to.
I don't think I've ever met a group of people who don't like the Hardy Boys.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense.
And so I was just saying I hope that he gets that Scott Hall or that Jake Roberts.
Well, the upside is he's still, well, I mean, he's 40 and whatever, but he's relatively young.
Exactly, yeah.
He's got most of his life ahead of him if he takes care of himself.
Absolutely.
So I can only hope for the best. I just want Jeff to be all right, man. I don't even care if he doesn't wrestle it in anymore.
Speaking of Jeff Hardy, I booked Jeff Hardy to face D'Lo Brown. I'm bringing this up before I even give context, because seeing your haircut, I'm like, this is my boy D'Lo Brown right here. Which I love D'Lo Brown, but I was just like,
Hey,
with you
honestly,
haircut,
yeah, because
I was
all the hair is gone, the
seeing,
beard.
Exactly, I was seeing some D'Lo.
Yeah, just dealing with the.
I love it.